Hello and welcome to FPLet Talk. It's a show where we'll be talking about various shooting games and topics within those games. That could include certain series, specific games, game types, communities and trends, and I guess whatever else is relevant to shooter games. Today I'm going to be flying solo and talking to you about Battlefield 5. Normally we'll have a few more people involved, but it's just going to be me for this one. Anyway, let's get right into the topic. Battlefield 5 is the most recent iteration of the Battlefield series, and it's hugely popular. Personally speaking, I don't believe I'm quite as enthralled with this one as some people seem to be. It's not to say that I don't enjoy the game, because I absolutely do. However, this game leaves a little bit to be desired, in my honest opinion. With the most recent update to the game, it came with a whole bunch of new content. I was super excited to get into the game, give everything a good go. After playing the new map for a bit, though, getting a good feel for Iwo Jima, honestly, a little bit of that energy has dissipated. I just haven't given all of the guns a good go around, and I've tried a lot of the content, and some of the guns are a little uninteresting, I guess. Some of them are good. I've enjoyed some of them. Some of the new vehicles and the new features I definitely enjoy, but I don't know. It could have been better on some fronts. There's always room for improvement, though, right? And this map is certainly beautiful, but beauty isn't everything. Scenic views aren't really what makes a shooter a good shooter. My biggest problem that I faced so far with this update, actually, is that Iwo Jima is extremely open. As you can see here, it's just a very, very open game. And, oh, as I get shot. It's just a very, very open game, or open map, and it doesn't provide a lot of cover. And the little bits of cover that I do get while playing seem to be camper spots, like little bunkers and things people kind of flock to, and they just hide, and it becomes very frustrating. I have enjoyed quite a bit, and especially like these big guns, these big cannons, they're a lot of fun to play with. And honestly, like the new katana you find at some of the bunker locations, it's a lot of fun to mess around and just storm a bunker with a katana, just swinging left and right and hacking people down. And I find myself still very excited to get into the TDMs and the Conquest and Breakthrough and all these different game modes in this new map. So it hasn't pulled me out of the series. I just wish it could have been better. And I mean, Battlefield 5 in general, I have some issues with, obviously. I've played Battlefield 5 since it was first released, and although I was a bit slower to reach the level that I'm at than some have been, I've given the title of this most recent game, I've given it a lot of effort, and I'd like to believe that I've I've done my fair share enjoying the game. And I guess, all in all, here's my general feeling and opinion about the game. Battlefield 5, it's a beautiful first-person shooter. The maps are expertly designed, a few flaws here and there, but for the most part, really, really nice. And the amount of weapons, and definitely an improvement over the last game, over Battlefield 1. Very, very fleshed out in a lot of ways. However, it does come with its flaws, and I mean, it captures a lot of really great aspects about World War II, although it's not supposed to be a directly World War II. It's kind of inspired by. It still is obviously World War II. However, the newest engine that they use for this and for Battlefield 1 and, well, Battlefront games is that new Frostbite engine. And it, to me, feels a lot like it's Star Wars Battlefront in the early 1900s. And I don't like that. I wanted more classic style Battlefield, and people have told me that it still feels like Battlefield. I don't quite agree. And it was a little disappointing for me. And the engine, it's again, it's very scenic, very nice. For the most part, the physics are decent. They have their issues. There are some holes, but it runs pretty well most of the time, pretty smooth. It does come with a lot of really great things, though. I mean, the weapons are great. The map's scenic, very large. It just the gameplay is very thrilling. Sometimes it's very enthralling, and you get kind of caught up into it. It's almost visceral at times, especially if you take off the HUD, remove all the things, and really get good speakers or a good way to deliver audio. You can really absorb yourself into the game, which I enjoy. I enjoy that part of the game. It's fun to really break into a Battlefield game and try and break down the engine and kind of force things to break and to tear the map apart and watch it break and buildings fall, and just it's a lot of fun to play a Battlefield game. The vehicles are really nice for the most part. They have some issues, as you can see, like these kill windows are not the greatest. They make your field of view very, very limited. And the infantry side is very fun. It's got a pretty good pace, and it can be pretty thrilling. I find myself usually sticking to the infantry rather than sticking to vehicular combat. I very, very seldom ever get into a plane, so I can't really speculate much on the flying. And for the most part, the game feels mostly balanced and just generally like a good game. Every update, it seems kind of like the guns and the content shifts a little bit, and it can be a little unpredictable. Recently, there was an update where it seemed like the SMGs became incredibly overpowered, and that was a killer for me. That really, between that and the assault rifles kind of missing a step, it took a little bit of the action out of it for me. I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I had previously. This game came with no hardcore mode, which for me, I've played hardcore modes since Battlefield 3, my first jump into the Battlefield series, and I thoroughly enjoyed hardcore mode in every game. It was always my go-to. I've noticed that it feels kind of sometimes like depending on maybe internet connections and things, it could change the feel of the game between different people. I've found oftentimes I'm running into combat and I encounter somebody, and whether it's my internet not behaving nicely or theirs not behaving nicely, it seems like it creates a wall, and all of a sudden the experience is lackluster. I feel that I've put so many bullets into somebody and I wasn't awarded so I get very upset about that. I get a little miffed. And honestly, between this game and Battlefield 1, I feel that my talents don't really shine. I feel like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 running off this new engine, it just feels a little lackluster. It feels like it's just not quite the old Battlefield that I fell in love with. And, I mean, look at this stuff. Like, you've got storming the beach, you've got all this beautiful, beautiful scenery, and just this really great game in a lot of ways. It's a really, really wonderful game. However, in the end, I can't honestly say that it's as amazing as it could have been. It definitely needs a few things. And I just wish that it was better, because it's really pretty. It's Battlefield. It's one of my favorite series, and although I really enjoy it, I wish I could enjoy it more. My honest opinion, and you know, I hope to play quite a bit more. I'll definitely be playing this for quite some time. Now, in future versions of this, we're going to be talking about other games and other series and other topics, anything relative to the shooter genre. Could be first-person shooters, could be third-person, could be all kinds of things. As long as it has a shooter topic to it, it's relevant. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that it was at least semi-informative, that held some decent criticism, and made you think a little bit, or maybe introduced you to a few new things. Perhaps you haven't been involved in the Battlefield series in a while, and maybe you like the looks of this. You've considered entering the game. I recommend it. I recommend giving this one definitely a good shot. It's worth trying, worth playing. I just hope that they keep improving, because it seems like this was a nice step up from Battlefield 1, but there is room for improvement, I still believe. But anyway, that's enough on this topic. I hope you enjoyed more than I enjoyed my score. And I hope you tune into the next one. We have a few plans for the next video, and hopefully there will be more involvement, more people in the game, and we'll be able to sit and talk and have a full conversation about the game. It'll be a little bit more in-depth and more points of view on the subject, and I just hope I can offer a bit more fun in the coming videos. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Please do hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like, and if you hit that bell down, down below our video off to the right a little bit, if you hit that little bell, you'll receive notifications every time we get new videos on this channel, and whenever we get an upload, you'll be the first to know about it. So anyway, that's it for me today, and I hope you enjoyed this iteration of FPLet's Talk. It's a working title, maybe subject to change. We'll let you know. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great day.